being prepared, right? So sometimes your wife is cooking and it's prayer time. Oh, I can't pray because you're cooking. If you're cooking, since you start cooking, I'm not going to pray. No, if the food is not ready, even if the food is ready, but if the food has already been brought in front of you, ready to eat, بحضرة الطعام من حضرة بحضرة الطعام means it's here, ready to eat. Then you finish the food first, then you go pray. And if you don't finish the food first, you sit down and you say, oh, the food is there, then I'm going to pray. Unless the time has run out. Like let's say, hey, if you sit down and eat, it's going to pass the time. Then you go pray anyways. And you go pray anyways. Why? Because it's mandatory to pray before the end of the prayer time. But if you still have time, then you wait and you finish first, and then you pray so that you'll be focused. La salata here means no prayer, not nullification of the prayer itself, validity of the prayer, nullification of the reward of prayer, meaning you might pray, but your reward is not going to be complete. Nullification of the completeness of reward, just like when we say la yu'minu, nullification of the completeness of iman, not nullification of iman in totality, or the validity of iman or no iman whatsoever. And so that's why this is this sigha, this particular phrase and form that's used is something that's actually permissible if you want to say part, but using something that's full, using complete nullification. Another benefit that we can extract from this hadith, وجوب محبة المرء لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. It is mandatory for you to love for your brother what you love for yourself. When we say wujub is what? It's mandatory. Do you know what that means? When he says la yu'minu ahadukum, that means it's something that's mandatory. It's not sunnah. The praiseworthy status. Some people think, if I reach this status where I love for my brother what I love for myself, wow, that's a great status. That's wonderful. That's like, man, I made it. No. If you reach that status, that means you've done the minimum. That means you've done the minimum. The praiseworthy status is called ithar. It's preferring your brother over yourself. That means if you were to buy a shirt, for example, you would not spend $100 on yourself. But for your brother, I would spend $100 because I love him. And you would, I'm like a shirt, for me, I'm gonna buy, hey, $25 is okay. But for my brother, I'm gonna spend $100. So what does that mean? That means I preferred him even over myself. More, not just what I want. I would give him even more than what I would get for myself. More than one. That's true love there, right? So that's why sometimes there's some things that you wouldn't buy for yourself. But inshallah, your wife loves you so much. She sees that, hey, you want that thing? And you know that she knows you won't buy it, and she'll buy it for you even though she would not buy it for herself. Right? That's called love. And so that's preferring even others. And that's what we call al-ithar, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. Inshallah, I would like to end it here. Next week, we still have a little bit more to continue, but next week we'll be continuing with the hadith number 14. A hadith from Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, in which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لا يحل دم امرئ مسلم إلا بإحدى ثلاث. The blood of a Muslim is not allowed to be shed except for three things: a thayyib zani, a person who commits adultery, meaning the person has already been married and they commit zina; wa nafsu bin nafs, and someone who has killed another person, a soul for a soul; wa tariku li dinihi al mufariqu lil jama'ah, one who abandons his deen and abandons the jama'ah. What does this all mean? Inshallah, we'll elaborate on more. So this is hadith number 24 next week, but we haven't finished this hadith yet. So we'll continue next week with this hadith of Anas ibn Malik radiyallahu anhu. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه With that, inshallah, wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.